What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hammerbuster as part of my Does It Suck series. The Hammerbuster is the legendary Jakobs assault rifle that is available from McNally in the Dust. This is a very straightforward weapon. It fires straight rounds with relatively no learning curve. Obviously, being a Jakobs weapon, you are going to want to hit critical hits with this weapon. It has a fairly high base damage. The rest of the stats are pretty much what you'd expect from a Jakobs assault rifle. And you'll notice that it does have a significant amount of recoil when you shoot it and everything like that. You could manage this a little bit by using the accessory that increases recoil reduction, or a Jakobs Allegiance relic that does the same thing. However, I am going to be using it here with a Bone of the Ancients. I guess I'll throw this one on just in case I get Corrosive Kunai, for the cooldown rate, because I think it will be an effective weapon coming out of Deception. This is the skill build that I'm using. I'm using it with a legendary killer class mod. And we're going to get started here in the Washburn Refinery, where critical hits should be fairly easy to come by. Now, this weapon, I've used it a few times in the past. I haven't used it very much recently, because there's almost no reason to use it when the Bekah exists in the game. The Bekah is another Jakobs assault rifle, this time of the pearlescent variety, and you can see that it has almost identical stats to the Bekah, or to the Hammerbuster, excuse me, but it has a lower base damage. However, it does have the 3 additional pellets that come when you shoot the Bekah at a little bit of range, which definitely make the Bekah a lot better than the Hammerbuster. However, the Hammerbuster is still a decent weapon. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just kind of a middle-of-the-road weapon that is just alright. We're going to get started here and see how we do. It doesn't quite have one-shot, one-kill power most times coming out of Deception and stuff, which I do feel like is a little bit of a letdown for the weapon. As the legendary Jakobs assault rifle, it'd be nice if it did have that and everything, but I've noticed that it doesn't really have that. And a lot of times using a Jakobs sniper rifle will have similar usage scenarios as the Bekah. They do fire, or not the Bekah, the Hammerbuster. However, they do fire a little bit slower, but they deal a little bit more damage, so in practice, the usage on them is pretty similar, and with Zero especially, the Jakobs snipers are actually going to win out in comparison to the Hammerbuster. So we're just going to go through here and see how we do with the Hammerbuster. It's alright. It's not great, but obviously it is severely outclassed by the Bekah, and there's not really that much of a point in using it because it is so outclassed by the Bekah, and beyond that, it's not much different usage-wise than a sniper. I guess you won't ever really worry about running out of ammo with the Hammerbuster because assault rifles do have such a high total ammo pool, but you know, you won't really run out with sniper rifles either unless you're playing a little bit foolishly. So, I don't know. It's kind of like the Hammerbuster almost doesn't have a niche. It's not quite powerful enough to be extremely useful, and there's no advantage in using it over the Bekah. So, it doesn't suck, quote-unquote, but it's not good. Well, I don't know. It's marginally good. It's not bad, I should say. But it's definitely not great. It's just a very middle-of-the-road weapon that doesn't really have a use for any character in most situations, I'd say. Especially now that the Bekah exists, there's truly no reason to really use the Hammerbuster at all. But I don't know, it's kind of a fun weapon. If you found it, it would definitely be a useful weapon if you were early in the game and stuff like that, because then the critical hit damage is pretty powerful, and it could be useful for learning how to hit critical hits with weapons with high recoil and stuff, which, you know, does have some merit and benefit, but again, not really a huge reason to use this weapon. So I'm going to try to disable this guy's arms real quick. That way he'll be a little bit easier for us to take out. It actually took out this badass a little bit quicker than I was expecting it to. So I guess that's a good thing. I'll get Grim activated there so that I don't die. But, you know, it's so middle of the road. It's hard to say that this weapon sucks, because it's definitely going to kill things fairly easily. It's got good ammo efficiency, and it's okay. It's just not great. So I'll use it a little bit longer here in the Washburn Refinery so you can see it a little bit more in practice. But I think that you guys will probably agree with my assessment of this weapon here being more or less a middle-of-the-road weapon. It's just so mediocre almost. Disables Loader's arms quickly. I guess that's a good thing. It does alright against bandits as well. Obviously, against like nomads and stuff that have a shield, it's more difficult to hit the critical hits on them, which limit its use a little bit, but against most enemies, usage on this weapon is very, very straightforward. Aim for critical hits and pull the trigger quickly, and you'll be able to kill things with it. So I don't know. It's okay. It's just not good, and it's just not bad. It's just a very standard middle-of-the-road weapon. Let these loaders kill themselves a little bit here. This one that I disabled with the Pimpernel, he doesn't want to jump out. Try to kill him. There we go. Run past these guys here using my follow-through bonus. Exploders are a lot easier to get away from than lunatic bombers. They explode quicker, or the lunatic bombers do, and also they'll throw their grenades sometimes after you kill them, whereas exploders just blow up immediately. I think that makes exploders a lot less dangerous than your average lunatic bomber is. We'll see if we can line up a bore shot on these guys here. Looks like they're kind of trying to avoid that, so we didn't get the chance to. Or at least, it didn't coincide with the end of my deception there, so that was a little bit unfortunate, but not a huge deal. Ooh, almost died there. Luckily I didn't, so that was good. Nice. I do need to kill this eye blast guy. He's given me a little bit of trouble, so we knocked him out. That was good stuff. Cool. I did go ahead and spec into Two-Fang with this weapon. That's probably given me some significant recoil and everything like that, but I do think it increases the effective fire rate I can achieve with the controller by quite a bit, so I guess that's a good thing. Spread the kunai out a little bit on these guys. I hope this guy got slagged by the kunai. That was excellent. Maybe he got slagged by the antagonist, but either way, he's slagged now, and that's a good thing for us. So I'm going to get ready to try to kill this badass loader now. I'm going to get slag and kunai on him here, and then try to disable his gun arms as quickly as I can. Now I'll try to position him in such a spot where I can hit his critical hit, but he is going to shoot the eye blast at a rail or something like that. Cool. I think he's more or less ready to die at this point, so we'll finish him off. Alright, so we're doing okay here. We're doing plenty fine on assault rifle ammo, obviously. It has a huge ammo capacity. And we have plenty of slag grenades now, too, so we should be alright as we work through this room. Go ahead and knock this guy down. Nice. We'll let this guy jump up here, and we'll knock him out. Pimpernel wanted to shine. It always wants to shine, though. Alright. Go ahead and knock this guy out as well. So as you can see, the Hammer Buster, it definitely doesn't not kill things, you know what I mean? It definitely doesn't suck in that capacity, but again, it's thoroughly outclassed by Bekah, and most of the time, Jakobs sniper rifles are probably going to be a better choice than it as well, with similar usage scenarios and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it's hard to recommend the Hammer Buster for anything, but at the same time, it's hard to say that the Hammer Buster sucks, quote-unquote. Let an exploder get a little bit too close to me there. I thought I'd be able to kill the hot loader in time, but I wasn't. So now we killed the hot loader. We got the transfusion trails coming, or have already come, so that's good. We'll try to kill this gun loader now. Wish he was slagged when I hit him with my deception shot, but we still took him out. Looks like there's someone with a powerful Torg weapon back there. We'll have to kill that guy pretty quickly. Use deception and some slag grenades on him. Knock off his arm real quick so that he can't kill us. Cool. I've noticed when enemies have Torg weapons, they're pretty powerful most of the time. They may not have great accuracy, but they can be quite devastating if they do hit you. And it looks like we kind of got a spawn where multiple enemies do have these quick-moving Torg rifles, so that's kind of scary. And I've also noticed that sometimes if enemies are spawning with a certain type of weapon, almost all of the enemies in that area will spawn with that weapon as well. Or, you know, that type of weapon. And that can be pretty irritating when those end up being like sniper rifles of some variety, because they usually have high chances to cause damage over time and high damage over time. But it's also really irritating when it's Malawan SMGs. Hopefully this shock damage over time doesn't kill me. Excellent. I was so interested in knocking off their guns that now I got two loaders doing the little eye blast thing, and that's actually kind of dangerous. When you just have one doing it, it's pretty easy to avoid. But when you have two, it can be kind of devastating, so we'll do alright here. Should probably get slag on this guy, I assume. Make him a lot easier to take out. Alright. Now we'll finish him off. Maybe I should aim for the hip joints. They're a little bit easier to hit than that eye. Cool, so there's just a couple more enemies to take out in here. And, you know, I think it's easy to see that while the Hammerbuster may not suck, it's definitely not a great weapon by any means. It's not what you'd probably expect a legendary weapon to do, or perform at, you know, such a mediocre level. But, you know, it's not terrible, so I don't know. It's hard to say that the weapon, quote-unquote, sucks, but it's definitely not a good weapon either. Well, it's borderline good. It's definitely not great. More Torgue weapons. I'm being a little bit cautious because I don't want to die here late in the video. That would be a shame. Cool. Get slag on this guy and we'll take him out. You know. So basically, it's a mediocre weapon. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just kind of meh. And, you know, I think most of you will probably agree with that assessment. It's just a middle-of-the-road weapon. It's alright, you know what I mean? It's definitely not great, but it's okay. Alright, so, I guess I'm going to end the video after this gun loader here in the Hyperius waiting room. I'll give you a quick look at the Hammerbuster again before I go. As always, guys, I thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments, and I'll try to answer those for you guys if I can. So in review, the Hammerbuster doesn't suck, but it's definitely not a great weapon, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it in a game where the Bekah and the Muckamuck exist, because I feel like they're much better options than the Hammerbuster happens to be. But it's okay. It doesn't suck. As always, guys, like I said, one more time, thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. Otherwise, I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.